Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Looking for some exhilarating fun? It's at All Out Zone. All Out Zone showcases Nerf dart tag games from team elimination battles to human versus zombies, pitting 2 teams against each other in fun, organized chaos with trained referees, music, and a full arsenal of Nerf blasters. You need team parties, birthday parties. We can customize the party to fit your needs. Visit us at the Coronado Mall. Give us a call, 505-444-6964. All Out Zone.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Sports. Leroy Lucero, along with Michael Carla.
What's up, man?
Not much. Well, yeah, really not much. A tough week, right? You having a tough week sports-wise? I mean, you went to Fresno. Lobos kind of had it. They had it handed to them.
The Fresno trip was rough.
And then I know you're
a good game.
Big Cubs fan. Last week you were wearing the Cubs shirt. Yeah. Cubs Indians. But at least you have last year.
Yeah.
Because this year's pretty much looks like it's done.
Maybe.
Redskins won.
Now I know what a Cowboy fan feels like.
Oh, there we go. Well, we don't know about 100 years, but okay.
Want to keep going?
Yeah. Redskins, they won, right?
Yeah, they won.
Yeah, so there you go. And college basketball.
One of the many teams, the Cowboys.
College basketball is about to start, so your North Carolina Tar Heels are going to do really good.
Not a Carolina fan.
They're all in the same. I mean, it's New Mexico, New Mexico State, North Carolina, Duke, North Carolina State. It's all the same.
Sure.
Just mix them all up. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, I heard the show yesterday. You had Mike on there, too. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Monday, of course, do the show as well. And what were some of your thoughts on what happened Saturday night?
Well, it was an ugly game. What do you think my thoughts were? It was 38-0.
You don't have any thoughts on that?
It was an ugly game.
It was very ugly. Bob Davie definitely.
I don't know what else to say other than that.
Bob Davie really took the heat upon himself for the entire situation. Talked about team being unprepared. Lobos, it's always been that talk out, work out, hustle out, discipline, and they were out all of that.
Yeah, and that was the most disappointing thing. Not the fact necessarily that they lost, but the manner that they lost. They got outplayed, they got pushed around, they got out physicaled, and that's something that you typically don't see from Bob Davie coach Lobo teams.
And I'll tell you what scared me the most, or what kind of like whoa the most, was when you'd see a receiver or running back and they'd have a little bit of a lane, and all of a sudden it looked like there was some space. Some Fresno defender would just come and literally decleat him. I mean, it was like straight slobber knocker. Mm-hmm. I mean, the body was pow. I mean, it wasn't like just a tackle or I'm going to take you down to the ground or shoestring. I mean, it was straight up smash, guys flying backwards. Yeah. It was. I'd never seen. Yeah. I can't remember a team that physical manhandling a Lobo team in a long time. And obviously Bob Davie's comments that night with Dontrell Moore on the radio, and then his comments with your cohorts in the morning, JJ and Jeff, and then yesterday's comments, I think he pretty much alluded to all that maybe this team was, I don't know where their heads were or whatever, but it wasn't a Lobo, it wasn't what I think you said it best, what we're used to seeing a Bob Davie coach Lobo team play.
Right. Look,
even when they stunk, they still didn't get whacked like that.
Well, you can deal with losses. You don't like it when your team loses, but you can deal with it if they play well. They just didn't play well. It was. I don't know if it was the bye week, if they were overlooking Fresno, they didn't think Fresno was that good, or what the deal was. But Fresno just came out and as Coach Davie said, punched him in the mouth.
Yeah, thumped him good. Hey, so I mean, joking aside, I know you're a Duke fan. I was just trying to bust your chops a little bit. So Duke, North Carolina, big rivalry. Yeah. Hate each other.
Sure.
Despise each other, fans, teams, all that stuff. North Carolina's never hired a Duke coach, and Duke's never hired a North Carolina coach. Is that true?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. So Paul Weir was doing the little practice deals in New Mexico State, the rival of the Lobos.
The high schools, yeah.
Give him a heads up, talk to him. I know we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I just wanted your initial thoughts on that. What did you think about that?
Well, they did the Lobos a favor.
That's what I think too. I've been saying that. I'm like,
it trips me out. All the fans, the Aggies, they should just shut up. Well, no, they actually did you a favor, because if they hadn't have said anything and then reported you later, it would have been a violation. So that they actually did you a favor by giving you a heads up.
Huge favor.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. There's been some things going on here at UNM for the past year and a half that, I don't know, I just think it was a good thing that they went ahead and did it. So we're going to take a quick break because we have Micah Frankel here. Frankel. How do you say it again?
He's only been on the show for 10 years.
He has his name. I got thrown out because they put my name under his name at the pre-surgery, whatever we're doing here. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back with Micah and CageMinds.com.
City Sports Bar. Proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Catch all the sports action from high school, college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Start your night off right with any selection from our delicious menu prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Duke City Sports Bar, Albuquerque's newest sports bar. Located on Eubank and Montgomery, dial 505-433-4020.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts. Like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service. And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time. Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Caged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. Go to cagedminds.com. We got a lot of results up this weekend. LFA 24 was full of finishes. Glory 46 in China crowned a new middleweight champion. Rico Verhoeven absolutely destroyed Bigfoot Silva. Also, we got full results and recap from the Jackson's MMA Series 23. Royce Aceto pulling up the unanimous decision win over Ernesto Savidre. You can also go to Caged Minds Combat Sports News on Facebook. Check out the photo album from that main event fight and more photos to be going up all week. Now this week we have a guest who's going to be fighting for the King of the Cage atomweight title. Joining us this week is Jamie Hinshaw from Fit NHB. Thanks for being here, Jamie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm doing pretty good. 5 fights into your professional career, a long amateur run also, mostly these fights inside of that King of the Cage cage. What was your initial thoughts on being told, hey, we're going to put you in the title fight?
Honestly, I was a little bit surprised. I knew that I had to get a win at least to ask for a title fight. So whenever they gave it to me right after I just got a good win, I was surprised. I thought I was going to have to go for another fight before, but I knew it was coming, so I was already preparing before I got the news for the fight.
Last fight here at the Santa Ana Star Center, we saw you take the win over Kelly Villarino. Did they tell you that night, Terry Trebilcock Jr., the president of King of the Cage, was here, did they tell you that night that the title fight was on the horizon?
No, they didn't. They just said, be prepared and everything for anything. I told them, I'm down to fight whenever because, I didn't really get hurt much. Like I said, I just like fighting.
You didn't have the outcome you wanted to, fighting Cassie Robb. How did you bounce back for that Kelly fight?
Yeah, that fight, I was pretty disappointed in myself in my performance. I think I rushed that too much. It was basically a scramble the whole fight. I lost my breath. It wasn't my night that night. It was Cassie's, and I got to give it to her for that, But I don't think that'll happen ever again.
And then tell us about bouncing back and what mentality you took into that fight with Kelly.
I just knew that I didn't want to feel like that again. So I trained hard, and I was like, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to feel like that again. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put on a good performance, and I'm going to win dominantly, and I think I proved it. I did.
So the initial thoughts about getting to a title fight?
It was amazing. Like I said, it was kind of a surprise. I thought I was going to have to go through a couple more girls before, but I knew that it was coming up soon. I believe in myself and my skills, and like I said, I knew that I deserved that shot, so yeah.
Current KOTC 105-pound title holder is a familiar foe to you. You guys have already fought, and you actually came out on top in that fight. So how much confidence do you take into the rematch? You already won. It was a stoppage, right?
Yes. Well, actually, it was a submission. But right now, I'm very confident in myself and my skills. But right now, I know me and her, both since we fought, we've both gotten a lot better. I'm not going to take her lightly. Just because I won her before doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, oh, well, it's a cakewalk. I am training really hard, and yeah, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna come out victorious.
We saw Melissa took the title from Andy Wynn, who King of the Cage had really been trying to put over. They had sent her to Japan. Did you watch the fight when they had their title fight?
Yes, I did. I was impressed a little bit. I seen the first round. She was a little bit nervous, and it looked like she got a little bit confident because she knew she won that round, and you know, it was her night that night, and she ended up coming out with that title. So
you got the submission in the first meeting. What's your biggest advantage heading into this rematch, being the challenger?
My biggest advantage is I've already fought her. I already know. We've already been in the cage before. I'm not afraid of her. I know what she's good at. She knows what I'm good at, and yeah.
It goes without saying, has it hit you yet that it's a title fight? This is, you know, a lot of fighters say, it's the biggest fight of my career. This time, for right now, this really is the biggest fight of your career.
Yes, the title fight, I'm not trying to get it like over my head or anything. I'm gonna train like as if it's any other fight. I just know that's gonna be a longer fight. You know, the title and getting that strap around my waist is just a bonus. So,
how has the extra 2 rounds, thinking about going 5 rounds, affected this training camp?
Just a lot more cardio and doing a lot more rounds. Hasn't affected it really much.
Now, I did hear, though, that you've added strength and conditioning. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I've actually, I got sponsored by Functional Fairy, and I work with Dwayne Davis over there, and I'm loving the results. Like, it's so hard, but like, I'm seeing the results, and yeah, I'm loving it.
It's King of the Cage, Unstoppable 2, taking place up in Minnesota, and this is going to be your 3rd fight. So it's either been right here in the Southwest, I think, here in New Mexico or El Paso or Minnesota. How's that worked out?
Yes, I just like to fight. I love to travel. You know, wherever they want to take me, I'll go. You know, like I said, a fight's a fight, and I'm down.
From where you started to where this was kind of recreational exercise to a title fight. Tell us about your thought process and thinking of where you've come in this journey as a martial artist, as a fighter.
Whenever I stepped into the gym, I honestly didn't believe that I was going to be a fighter. I went in there a couple months in and got in the boxing ring, and after that one wasn't really for me, so I ended up going and doing MMA, and it was more like a street fight, more what I'm comfortable with, and I knew I wasn't nervous whenever I got in there, so I knew that's where I belong, you know, so yeah, and it just took off from there.
It felt right. Did that surprise you that this kind of, I don't know, lion awoken inside of you from fighting? Because it wasn't something that had been part of your life prior.
Well, actually, I grew up in the South Valley here in Albuquerque. So fighting, we used to just do that for fun. So it's always been in my blood, you know, and now I just get paid and cheered for it. And then the cage, it's a little bit different. The only difference is I don't have to be worried about getting shot or stabbed or anything like that. And there's someone there to protect both of us. That's the only difference. On the street, it's just a free-for-all. So it's just a little bit safer, I guess, now. And I have training behind it.
Okay, so we're trying to paint this picture of the mild-mannered housewife that, you know, turned into a fighter, and I got the reformed gang member instead.
No, I wasn't from a gang or anything like that. It's just where I grew up, and, you know, that's just life around here. Yeah, like I said.
Okay, so tell me about then taking now what you found in martial arts back to the youth that you were, to these kids now, and being that positive influence to show them that they shouldn't be following in those footsteps, that there is a way to do it, to focus.
Yeah, you know, over here, like, I think mixed martial arts is a great outlet for these kids. You know, a lot of people have a lot of anger issues and everything like that, and stress. Getting punched in the face and punching people in the face, it's a big stress reliever. You know, it's fun. Yeah, I don't really know much else to say about that.
Some last words on the fight. What is it going to take? What are some key points to go into that cage for you to dethrone Melissa, to come back to New Mexico with the King of the Cage atomweight title?
I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to do me. I'm going to have fun, and whatever she gives me, I'm going to take it. You know, I know either way I'm going to end up victorious. I know that I'm going to end up walking out of there with that strap around my waist, either if it's going to be by submission, by stoppage, or decision. You know, either way I'm winning that title. I'm bringing it back to the U.S.
Would there almost, because you already submitted her once, would it be another cherry on top to get another finish in claiming the title?
I'm not going in there just strictly wanting a finish like that, but if it happens, it happens, and like you said, it'll just be that much more sweet. So,
have you thought about what it would be like to hear the words "and new"?
I already know that that's going to happen. So, yeah, it's just going to be awesome. I've been working a lot hard, and I've been working so hard for this, and yeah, once they say that, it's just going to put everything in perspective. So.
November 10th, King of the Cage, Unstoppable 2, up in Minnesota. Jamie Hinshaw in the main event, looking to become the King of the Cage atomweight champion. There'll be more Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community. Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dave & Buster's is your destination for fun. Eat delicious chef-crafted food. Try sizzling favorites and new creations from our talented chefs. Drink the coolest cocktail creations. Play the hottest new games to win awesome prizes. And watch all the games in the best sports bar ever.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. We have a special guest today, Larry Chavez Jr., right?
Yeah.
Larry, welcome to the show. You know
Thanks
Michael
for having
Carlisle
me.
as well, and you all know Michael Carlisle, if not from here, also from 610D Sports Animal fame. Award-winning.
There you go.
Do you want to borrow money? I mean,
yeah, you don't do my trades on the little phone app that we have, so I'm trying to work it. All right, just
good luck.
Hit some trades. That's all I'm also asking for, trades. So anyway, Larry, we want to bring you in today, talk a little bit about Lobo football. Obviously, your family's very associated with Lobo football, as the name of the company is. Well, it's on the stadium and the pit now.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit. How did that all come about? What was your part in that, or what?
I didn't have a whole lot of involvement in it. It just was an opportunity that came about, and we were fortunate to be in a financial position as a company to step forward and be able to give back on such a grand level. And we're really blessed and thankful for our customers over the last almost 30 years that have put us in a position to be able to give back on that kind of level. So,
Sorry, this is just funny.
So what did it mean for you guys to be able to give back? Because obviously you guys are very big supporters of the athletic department, but I know you guys wanted to make sure some of the money went to the university itself and not just the athletic department.
Yeah, Michael, it was very important to my dad that we structure the deal to not just support athletics. He's an Anderson School of Management grad. I am. We have a number of staff members that have gone to UNM or are going to UNM. And so while we're a sports-oriented family, it was very important to us to be able to give on a visual level in the athletic department, but because we understand that not everybody in the community is a sports fan, we wanted to help the entire university. So the initial beneficiaries of our deal are Carrie Tingley, or Children's Hospital, Pope Joy Hall, and Anderson School of Management. So it's important, to be able to give back overall. Sports is the most visual part of it, but business and performing arts and kids are important to all of us. So.
Absolutely.
So obviously, you guys are well-rounded in that way, but let's talk a little bit about sports, because that's kind of what we're doing here, and part of the football program, and let's face it, football program hasn't always been supported by fans, by businesses. And it's a major step up for what you're doing and what your family's doing and the company that's doing. And then obviously we need fans to step up as well. I think the pit's been pretty good over the past 50 years. Lobo basketball's been pretty solid. I know they took a little step back the past couple of years, but it seems like that's rebounding. But football has to be the thing if this university, if this program, the athletics department, ever wants to step up into any big time. How does that happen, or what are your thoughts on that for the football program?
Leroy, it's our hope that with what we've done, we sort of pave the way, hopefully. Locally owned and operated company from here, UNM grads, that kind of thing. It's kind of a grassroots effort that, it's true. You look at the big programs across the country, the Michigans, the Nebraskas, the UCLAs, the Notre Dames of the world, and the entire athletic program is funded by having a well-supported football program. And I think Coach Davey, in his 6 years, has done a phenomenal, almost nearly miraculous job of rebuilding a program back to where it was in the Rocky Long era. And it's just hopeful that it continues. We can completely understand that sustained success is what brings people and keeps people. I think they've built that trend, and it's trending in the right direction. Last week was not a great situation, but overall, if you look at the body of work, I think the program is headed in the right direction. So we're hopeful that our efforts just sort of stimulate people to do whatever they can, whether it's buy season tickets or any other businesses that can step up in whatever way they can. It's not that we're expecting or hoping that everybody else steps up with a $10 million 10-year deal, but whatever they can justify. And it's the biggest university in the state, so we're hopeful, not only as Lobo fans but as community members, that we can prime the pump, basically.
So you both were in Fresno on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I was sitting at home in Rio Rancho watching the game. That was a tough one. What are your thoughts, not only on that game, but the season so far?
Sure. I'll let Michael go first.
As I said earlier, the game was rough. Unfortunately, sometimes things like that happen. But as he just said, the program as a whole has changed so much in the 6 years that Bob Davies been here. You saw what this team did last year, Co-Mountain Division champions. So the program itself is certainly headed on the upswing. Saturday night was rough. Those things happen, unfortunately. Sometimes you move on and get ready for the next one. For the Lobos, with the short weekend, Friday night back at Dreamstyle Stadium against Colorado State, not a lot of time to dwell on last week. You got to put that out of your mind and look ahead.
Yeah, I would echo everything that Michael's saying. It was a tough game all the way around. From offense, defense, special teams was maybe the brightest spot, but that meant we were punting quite a bit, which means the offense wasn't producing very much. And I think it was a perfect storm. I think Fresno is probably a better team than anybody expected. Talent-wise, I think the coaching change there shows what coaching can do in college athletics.
Oh, sure.
Same group of kids playing together or pulling all in the same direction. We'll see what they're made of when they face San Diego State. I think they play San Diego State this week. So I think the football program suffered a tough loss, but I think the season is not lost by any means.
Well, there's definitely been some issues that we've talked about all season long, and I think they all culminated Saturday night. Ball security is one of them. That's been a problem for this team since game one. Obviously, they had problems with ball security there. Covering wide receivers has been tough. especially if they can't get any pressure on the quarterback. Saturday night there was very little pressure on the quarterback for Fresno State, and they picked the Lobos defensive backs apart. I mean, they were just, and they were quick. I mean, they were long shots too. That's actually new. We haven't really seen a lot of that. UNM had been dink and dunk against the Lobo defense, but Saturday night it seemed like it was a lot more quick strikes, long balls, and those guys were wide open.
Yeah, again, it happened that they took advantage on the 2 long plays where they had safeties covering the receivers, and the Fresno State offense, they recognized that and were able to make the Lobos pay. But again, I don't want to minimize what happened because it was ugly. It was a brutal loss.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things happen, and you can dwell on it, or you can push it out of the way and look towards the next game.
So what do you guys think, looking towards the future this season? I mean, we're halfway through now, right? 3-3, 6.
By the way, this time last year, do you know what the Lobos' record was?
I think they were 3-3.
It was 3-3.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Of course, Colorado State comes into town. Still have a big game against Texas A&M.
Sure.
San Diego State looms towards the end of the season. What are you guys' thoughts on the rest of this season? 6-6?
Well, certainly you need more consistent play. And when the Lobos are playing well, when the offense is moving the way they want it to, the Lobos are as good as any team in the conference. When it's not, and you saw this Saturday night when Fresno State stopped the run, as Bob Davie said, it was apparent early on we weren't going to be able to run the ball. The Lobos are in trouble at that point. So, they had a couple of injuries on the offensive line on Saturday night, so that's certainly going to be an issue going forward. But as long as you can get the run game going early and do what you want to do, the Lobos can hang with anybody. It's when they don't get that going and they have to live and die with the pass where they get in trouble. So, yeah, for the Lobos to be successful the rest of the way, they got to get the offense going, and by that, they got to get the run game going.
So what do you think, 3-3, 4-2, 5-1? Got 6 games left, barring a bowl bid.
I think they get the 6 wins for sure. So to answer your question, at least 3-3 the rest of the way.
What do you think?
I'd say 3-3, 4-2. I think like Michael says, they're going into the season. There were a lot of question marks, but I think the team has proven that they're more talented than they've been in the past. And it shows again the strength of the program. And I felt going into the season that if they play well in any given game, they have a chance to win. I mean, they proved it in Tulsa. It didn't go so well in Fresno.
Right.
And they've got a murderer's row type of road schedule this year that, if they can steal a few on the road like they did in Tulsa, where the defense played really well and the offense did enough to win, and special teams came through with a buzzer beater kick by Sanders. I think they've got enough in the tank to get bowl eligible again. And I think the strength of the program is the resiliency and the strength of the kids and the coaching staff that they'll bounce back. This week's a tough test, but if they do what they're supposed to do, if they prepare and they got a short-term memory and stuff like that, they'll give Colorado State everything they can hope for.
So it seems like we do this every year with Lobo football, and why shouldn't we do it this year too? Lamar goes out. Tuioti goes out? Tuioti, sorry. Gerhardt comes in, has a good game. Lamar comes back. He has a good game 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. This last Saturday, he did not have a good game.
Hold on. It wasn't so much that Lamar didn't have a good game. The Lobos didn't have a good game offensively.
Right.
If you don't get the run game going and you fall behind, you have to start passing.
Right.
That's not Lamar's strength. That's not a knock on him. I think we all know that.
Sure.
So, you have to bring in Tuioti and try to throw the ball. Problem is you become a bit one-dimensional. The teams know he's in there to throw the ball, so that they kind of sit back on that. So look, Lamar didn't have a great game by any means, but it's not like he had a horrible game. The Lobo offense just had a bad game, which includes him, includes the running backs, the line, and everybody. I don't know that we should put too much of it on Lamar. To your point, though,
you know where I'm going.
The shuttling of the quarterbacks, part of that is a byproduct of the offense.
Right.
The quarterbacks get hit a lot, so you have injuries, but B, for that same thing, if you fall behind and you need to pass to get back into it, most of the time for the Lobos, your option quarterback hasn't been the greatest passer. You've had one of the backups that was, so that comes in. That's not necessarily a knock on Lamar. I think we all hoped coming into the season that it would be more of a one quarterback system. Obviously, that's not the case, and to be frank, it's probably not going to be the case from here on out, so you should probably get used to different quarterbacks depending on the situation.
But you know who the starter is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lamar's proven that he can win games for this program. So I think you give the senior his shot at it. But I think, again, something that's proven with the quarterback situation is the depth that's been built. For Gerhardt to transfer here when he could have transferred anywhere. Yeah. And, in Tulsa, we need him. And he comes in and plays like he's been playing all year. And Tuioti, he comes in. Maybe if we have 5 more minutes in the state game, we win that game. We don't, so we didn't win. But I think we've proven, and the program's proven that they can recruit talent really just about every position. That's a key position, like Michael said, in an option offense. You're one hit away from second string or third string playing ball. So,
what do you guys think about Bob Davie taking all the heat upon himself?
Isn't that what you want?
Yeah, it is.
Because, and again, you can have it either way, but you can't have it both ways. A lot of people didn't like it when Craig Neal threw people under the bus, threw his players under the bus. A lot of people felt like, all right, so Bob Davie takes all the heat on himself, and people complain about that. Well, how do you want the coach to respond? Do you want him to throw people under the bus, or do you want him to take the blame? He took the blame.
I thought it was great, to be honest with you, and I think I commented that on Twitter Saturday night when I was listening to him. Dontrell Moore interviewed him, and he said, hey, we're going to go back and we have to look at exactly what we've been doing the last 2 weeks because whatever we did was wrong. I'm going to take heat for that because I'm the buck stops here. Right. I was happy about that. It was just like, all right. He understands, he's diagnosed, there's a problem, obviously, how could you not? But I'm not going to sit there and say, well, if this happened, it's just like, no, we're going to go back and do what we've got to do. I like that. I mean, obviously, Bob Davie's an older coach, and there's
an
coach
experienced
speak there.
coach. Well, there is, but,
But I didn't find that as coach speak.
Right, well, he also has enough cachet built up that he can take the heat. Yep, it was on me, blame me, we didn't have him prepared right. A younger coach maybe doesn't have that built up, and you start taking the heat, then people start looking at you. So there's that too.
Yeah, I think Coach Davie handled it as you'd expect a good head coach to do. I mean, it's true in the business world, a manager or an owner has to own the responsibility for their company or for their employees. And he took responsibility, and I believe that based on the way that they've gone in the past, they'll make the adjustments they need, and again, they'll give Colorado State everything they can handle this week. So.
I agree. I think it'll be a good game. I don't know if they have. I mean, we just don't match up well with. We just haven't for. Gosh, since Sonny Lubick was there, I can't remember the last time we matched up well with the Colorado State Rams, and then McElwain took over. Still, we had a hard time with them, and now, still, I mean, it's just something about Colorado State. It's interesting because we started talking about Dream Style, and obviously they just built that brand new stadium up in Colorado State, and they're trying to make that move. I mean, I think a lot of teams in the Mountain West Conference really have to start looking at making that move if they want to try to at least get their names mentioned in the next rounds of expansion, if they happen.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if they happen, you have to be in position to do that, and I'm hoping New Mexico will move that way. Real quick, I wanted to turn across the street. Basketball's about practice has started, obviously in the NCAAs. I know you're big. You hail from the great state of North Carolina.
Yes.
So college basketball as well. Obviously, college basketball is a little different here, but it's still a lot of passion. Early thoughts on Coach Weir? Do you have any early thoughts on Coach Weir so far?
I'm excited. I wasn't able to make the hiring press conference. I was fortunate enough to go to the tip-off dinner. That was the first time I ever heard him speak, and I'm enthused. I think clearly with what's been well documented, there was a reason for change and a need for change. I think he's a breath of fresh air. I think if he gets the kids to play like he's saying he's getting them to play in practice and stuff like that, I think it'll be entertaining basketball that Lobo fans will enjoy and should be willing to pay the price of admission to see. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. If you've heard Coach Weir speak, whether it's in interviews, press conferences, or speaking engagements he does, you can't help but buy in. and I think he will do good things for Lobo basketball. I think this year might be a little rough as he continues to put the pieces in place, but I do think it's going to be fun to watch, and I think you are going to see, even early on, the signs of the program turning around.
Well, Jeff Grammer had an article in the paper, was it 2 days ago or was it yesterday, about none of the magazines have really have the Lobos finish like 7th in the Mountain West Conference. Or
well,
right
as we tape today, the preseason Mountain West media poll came out, and the Lobos are picked to finish 9th.
So I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, they just don't know.
Well, it's new coach, largely a new roster.
Sure.
So yeah, there's a lot of unknown there. If I'm a Lobo fan, I don't think I get too caught up in that. Let's see what happens in the season. I think they'll be better than that. I don't know how much better, but certainly I think you'll see the signs that the program is moving forward.
So we all know.
Yeah, I think the same thing as Michael. As a former athlete myself, when we got ranked or not ranked in preseason, it didn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't matter where you start; it's where you end up. So, they can take it and use it as motivation to say, "Hey, nobody thinks we'll be anything. Let's prove them wrong."
So you've been here long enough. You've been here always your whole life, as I have. We know the situation, and I think fan bases are the same everywhere. I don't think there's a lot of differences. Right. You win games, everyone loves you. You don't win games. That love is very fleeting and can turn very quickly.
Sure.
Right now, Coach Weir has a lot of, I'll use your words, cachet built up. A lot of excitement around the program right now. If it's a tough year, you think everyone's going to be okay with that? They're going to be relaxed? Or
as long as you see signs of improvement.
Okay.
Because look, some of the most passionate fans in all of college basketball are right here in Albuquerque and the surrounding area. Yeah. Of course, they want to win. They want the Sweet 16. They want all that. But they also realize when coaching changes come around, it takes a little time. There is no magic wand to wave and all of a sudden, poof, everything's great again. These things take time. As long as you see the improvements there and you can tell the program's moving forward, yeah, I think absolutely fans will be a tad patient. Yeah.
A tad patient.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'll flip real quick to basketball, football again. I mean, Lobo fans, I'm sure you've fielded a few calls of the naysayers that are always there. I mean, I don't care who the coach is and I don't care what year it is. There's always going to be naysayers. They just go a long way to be close with Colorado State, play hard with Colorado State, or do we need a victory to try to at least get more fans in the stands the last couple of games?
You need to play better. You got to play better than you played Saturday night. Certainly, you want the win.
Sure.
You could really use the win, but more importantly, you got to get the offense going and compete.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back and close out the show. Larry, thanks for being part of today's show.
Thank you, Leroy.
Welcome anytime.
Thanks, Michael.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more Red Menace TV.
Looking for some exhilarating fun? It's at All Out Zone. All Out Zone showcases Nerf dart tag games from team elimination battles to human versus zombies, pitting two teams against each other in fun, organized chaos with trained referees, music, and a full arsenal of Nerf blasters. You need team parties, birthday parties. We can customize the party to fit your needs. Visit us at the Coronado Mall. Give us a call, 505-444-6964. All Out Zone.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Duke City Sports Bar, proud supporter of Proview Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. Catch all the sports action from high school, college, pros, and MMA on one of our 35 HD TVs. Start your night off right with any selection from our delicious menu prepared with fresh, never frozen ingredients. Duke City Sports Bar, Albuquerque's newest sports bar. Located on Eubank and Montgomery, dial 505-433-4020.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa auto parts. Like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service. And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time. Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
VR Junkies is a virtual reality arcade. We specialize in all things VR, from the simple phone-based headsets to cutting-edge full-body motion systems. Check us out at the Coronado Mall. VR Junkies. Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience.
Welcome back to Red Menace TV. Michael Carlisle, you know, you've known me for a few years now. You know I'm not a huge Major League Baseball fan.
Right.
Games are long.
Yeah.
I can fall asleep a lot during those. I like a soccer game, though, but I'm not really a big fan of the...
What's not to love about a sport that you can take a nap in the middle of and then wake up and catch the end?
Yeah, that's true. And if you've been watching some of the League Championship Series, especially the Astros, or watching the Yankees this year, then definitely the end is when you want to watch it.
Definitely.
Yeah, right? I mean, they've been scoring. So, not being a big baseball fan, there was always something as a kid that always, I think, it almost transcended the sport.
Okay.
And there's an opportunity for that once again. I don't know how good the opportunity is. You're the baseball expert more so than I am, so I don't know. But Dodgers versus Yankees. There was, as a kid growing up, and I'm talking like late 70s, early 80s, you always wanted to see the Dodgers versus the Yankees in the World Series. That was always like a big deal. I don't know if it's still the same like that. Obviously, things have changed. We're talking 40 years ago, 30 years ago. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, as baseball fans, I mean, do they want to see something? I mean, obviously you had the snap of the Cubs curse, and then a few years back it was the Red Sox getting their victory. Bringing back a World Series with the Yankees and the Dodgers, does that do something for the game of baseball or not really? Is it just me thinking being a kid?
But part of it's you thinking being a kid. There is some legitimacy to it. I can tell you Major League Baseball would love a Yankees-Dodgers World Series. You get the 2 biggest media markets. Arguably the 2 teams with the most heritage, the most history going. So
national, well, I don't know. I mean, the Cubs probably have a bigger national following than the Dodgers at this point.
Maybe a little, but certainly that's a huge matchup. That being said, there's probably no better story in Major League Baseball than the Houston Astros. Years of struggles, years of bad seasons. They rebuilt that team from the ground up, so that's always a nice story. Now, as we tape this, that series is tied at 2-all. The Astros went up 2-0. The Yankees have come back in, won the last 2. That they've got Game 3 today, so not sure how that series is going to play out. It certainly looks like in the National League, the Dodgers are going to advance. As we tape, they're up 3-0 on the Cubs in that series. Could very well well finish that off tonight. So you're probably going to get your Dodgers in the World Series. But I think even if it's the Astros they play, I still think there's a lot of intrigue and a lot of fan interest in that as well.
Well, I guess I'm thinking outside of just regular baseball fans. You're right. As a baseball fan, you're like, it's the Astros. I mean, everyone remembers them playing in the Astrodome. They were the Bad News Bears played there, and they had the Astros. You remember?
I remember.
You
Let them play. Let them play.
Right.
I remember. Yeah.
But I'm talking more than just baseball fans. I'm talking kind of outside, like Super Bowl. People watch the Super Bowl. Don't matter who plays.
Right.
But obviously, if it's a bigger name.
You have more people watching.
More people, and you have people that maybe they don't watch a single football game the whole year. All of a sudden, they're experts. They know everything about football. You know, so, the college, the basketball, the NCAA tournament, same thing. All of a sudden, everyone's like filling out brackets. It's just. I just think that bringing the Dodgers and Yankees back might be a bigger thing for Major League Baseball than the Astros versus the Dodgers.
Well, probably, at least to a certain degree, because again, like I said, you do have that history, the heritage, and all that. So yeah, the casual fans, the people who used to be fans and then kind of, drifted away from baseball. Yeah, that's something that would probably pique their interest for the World Series. Absolutely.
And like for me, I'm still like tripping out. I remember the Astros being in the National League. I'm like, what the heck? When did they become part of the American League? How long ago was that?
10, 12 years ago.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It happens.
I just want to say one thing about the Cowboys.
Okay.
Well, it'd probably be more than one thing, but I remember telling you at the beginning of the year that Zeke Elliott was not going to end up being suspended because I knew that there was going to be some shenanigans that went on. There was too much money and even more. Jerry Jones has more power than the dude up in New England with Ballgate or whatever it was called. And
well, what power does Bob Kraft have? Did you see what the NFL did to him and his team over Deflategate?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that. They cheat. Don't worry. I mean, you saw the game, right? Yeah. I mean, you saw the Jets had the touchdown, and they said no.
First of all, let me just stop you.
I'm just saying. Zeke's not going to be.
Zeke's going to be suspended at some point. If you're a Cowboy fan, assuming things don't turn around in the next couple of weeks, you probably want him to go ahead and serve those 6 games now. Because if this does get drug out and nothing happens till the offseason, right now the Cowboys are struggling. Assuming that doesn't turn around, certainly you're going to have more hope next year after free agency and all that. Do you really want a 6-game suspension for your stud running back hanging over the team's head to start the season?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think as the season starts, if it turns worse, yeah, I think they go ahead and say just sit down.
See, and here's the interesting conundrum.
And he's not doing anything anyway, so it don't matter.
But if Zeke Elliott truly believes he did nothing wrong, and I think he believes that, whether or not that's true, I think he believes he did nothing wrong, how willing is he going to be to say, you know what, for the good of the team, let me just accept this suspension, and in his mind, admit that he did something wrong, versus continuing to fight it because he believes he's right. That's the other part. And if I'm Ezekiel Elliott and I truly believe I did nothing wrong, I'd probably want to fight this as long as I possibly could. So, I don't know that you see Zeke just saying, all right, you know what, the heck with it, I'll just stop appealing and serve the suspension. I fully expect him to try to do everything he can to stay on the field, just at some point in time. And you're starting to see that now. I know he got another temporary restraining order earlier this week. That just guarantees him 2 weeks. At some point in time, much like with Tom Brady and Deflategate, now it took a couple of years, but you eventually just run out of options.
Real quick, and you on your train of thought, because I know we're almost out of time. Would that hurt him for advertisers and that sort of thing, admitting that he was wrong? And
well, again,
it's different from a ball and smacking a woman around or whatever.
It wouldn't be admitting wrong, but to him, who truly believes he did nothing wrong, if he accepts the suspension, in his mind, he feels that way. As far as advertisers and all that, no, him serving the 6 games, I don't think does any more damage than has already been done.
Cool. Tell you what, we got to take off. I want to thank Larry Chavez. I want to also thank Micah Frankel and his guests for coming in and being part of today's show. For Michael Carlisle, this is Leroy Lucero. We'll see you next week. God bless you all.